The Miller family has always been seen as one of the most respected and honorable in The Last of Us. Joe, Tommy, and Ellie. They represent survival, loyalty, and love. At least, that is how it looks on the surface. But when you look closer, cracks begin to show, flaws begin to show, hidden decisions, questionable actions, and flaws we've ignored just because of who they are. And when you piece it all together, you start to realize the Millers aren't just heroes, they're also part of the problem. This is the dark truth of the Miller family we're going to explore in this video, starting up with Tommy Miller. Tommy, Joe's younger brother, was always seen as loyal and dependable. In Jackson, people respected him as both a fighter and a leader. Fans admired him because he was stable when Joe was reckless, was loyal, and a badass fighter. But that image cracks. Tommy downfall begins the moment he slips Joe's name to Abby when he mistakenly made the biggest mistake of his life. That mistake cost him his brother's life. After Joe's death, Tommy abandoned his wife and his community to chase after revenge. That is not what a leader does. That is not what someone who is portrayed as being loyal does. He ignored the family he had left, and even then, he failed, wasn't able to get revenge or justice for his brother. The darkest truth about Tommy is what he became after. Instead of being an uncle to Ellie, a mentor to Ellie, someone who will be there for her in this grave state, he pushed her towards revenge to satisfy his own guilt. He couldn't bring himself knowing that he led his brother to his own death. He stopped being the protective uncle we knew and turned into someone who dragged Ellie deeper into the same cycle that destroyed Joe. What Tommy became eventually wasn't the Tommy we once knew, and this is the dark side no one truly tried to explore. Moving on to the next character, Ellie Williams. I'm going to save Joe for the last because it is more controversial. The sweet girl consumed by revenge. Ellie was a character everyone loved, a witty, funny, innocent 40-year-old girl who could also be a savage when she needed to be. In part 2, she became the daughter figure who wanted justice for Joe. But Joe's death broke her. What started as a loyalty turned into an obsession. Ellie would do anything to get revenge, no matter the cost. And I'm telling you, the cost was high. She pushed Dina away from her. Dina that has always been there for her, walking her through her grief, and even wanting to go with Ellie to avenge Joe, which she could have not gone. I mean, what was Dina's business inserting her life into this revenge journey? But at the end, Ellie pushed her away and also lost Jesse in the process, and she destroyed every relationship she had left. Ellie's dark truth is how far she was willing to go. She had no line she wouldn't cross, and after everything, she finally realized Abby wasn't even the problem. All that blood, all that loss, all that pain for nothing. She realized she had been running away from her own guilt. It wasn't all about Abby. She used Abby as something to distract herself from, which led her astray. The last character we're going to be looking at now is Joe Miller. But before we move on to Joe, watched up to this, please leave a like and subscribe. It helps me a lot. Joe, the loved survivor. Joe is the heart of part 1, the heart of every gamer, a broken father who lost everything, only to find redemption through Ellie. Joe is loved because he's a protector, a fighter, a survivor, and an emotional anchor of the story. But Joe's great act of love was also his greatest flaw. In that hospital, he chose Ellie's life over humanity. And he didn't just save her, he robbed her of her choice. That moment wasn't pure love, it was selfishness. Joe's need to protect Ellie cost the world a chance at survival, and eventually Joe Pass caught up with him. Every enemy, every life he took, every brutal choice he made, it all led to Abby. Joe's legacy isn't just love, it's also the cycle of violence he left behind. When we think of the Millers, We see a family built on loyalty, love, and survival. But the truth is darker. Joe's selfishness created enemies that destroyed them. Tommy's bitterness turned him into a broken uncle, and Ellie's obsession consumed her completely. The villains aren't just tragic characters, they are proof that in The Last of Us, love can be just as dangerous as hate. If you enjoyed this video, I also made a video all about Tommy and how I explore his downfall. Check it out.